Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for joining the family. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around. And if you're new to the channel, hi there and welcome to the family. I hope you stay and you enjoy. Without further ado, let's get into the video, guys. Okay, so today, as you can see by the title, I'm basically sharing with you guys all the tips that I know and everything that I know about packing to come to the UK, especially if you're coming from abroad, from Africa. So for me, I was scared. Like the first process, I was initially so scared of packing anything. I was thinking, like, as a family, it was the first time taking someone out of the country, so as well it was just like we didn't know what we expected from flights in terms of basically what's allowed as luggage, what's not allowed as luggage, just all those things. So maybe you're stressed out and you're thinking, what should I carry? And I'm going to start with this section. I'm also going to follow with the section of basically your, how when you've got too much to pack and you just want to know the essentials, what you definitely must carry. I'm going to follow with that, but for now I'm just going to tell you guys what's allowed, what's not allowed. So my first tip is, if you are like me and you had really used flights before this and this is like going to be your first major trip away from home, and then you might want to consider the things that are allowed during like a flight. For example, if you have any liquids on you, they'll take them away. This includes perfumes. If you've got anything liquid like water, even if it's water, they'll take it away from you. Sanitizer, they took away my sanitizer during COVID times and I was like, how is this even a crime? I need to protect myself, but you just want to go, so that they took that away from me. So it's just like a process that they'll tell you, okay, throw this in the bin, and you will see it go away. Like even lotion. So I'm going to advise you to not carry lotion in your hand luggage. I remember I had like my camphor lotion in like one of my in my tiny bag because I got it last time. I nearly like left it at home and I was like, you know what, let me put it in one of my bags, like my hand luggage, and then it got taken away. They were like, can you remove this, take it away? So you need to be careful about those things. Like if you genuinely want something, put it in your main luggage because that doesn't get as scrutinized. I mean, like they check for genuinely harmful stuff in that luggage and it doesn't even get like checked that intensely. Like they don't open your luggage, so don't be stressed out about like having to open your suitcase or anything like that. If your suitcase is within the weight limit, I think obviously that's something you should consider, like being within the weight range of like the suitcase, because you don't want to be emptying out your stuff. So you'd much rather pack for genuinely what you need than losing all your stuff by the airport as well. So the next thing is basically just like the packing, the food. So I know when you're coming from home, you're like, I need to carry these meals with me, like I need to have something that I do love generally within my bag. So for me, my family was just so scared about me going and having any problems by the airport, so I didn't carry any food with me. I just carried like snacks, and from those snacks my drinks got taken away from the airport. I was so heartbroken because like the airport drinks are mad expensive, but then that's the price you have to pay. If you want any liquid, drink it before your check-in time, because when you get checked in they'll take it away from you. So any liquid, buy there, or just like don't bother, or just like drink before, and or be okay to see it go in the bin, which is sad because they'll be looking at you. I can promise you that. Okay, maybe it's in my country, Zimbabwe, but yeah, they'll be looking at you. So that's basically it with the airport and everything like that, but otherwise it's very chilled. I think I have to address this because it's not part of the packing process, but I feel like when you're about to travel, you have this anxiety, like you have this excitement that I'm finally going, but you're scared that anything might go wrong. Especially like if your flight is connecting. My flight was connecting and I was like, I always see people do vlogs of like them going to the airport, but they never show me what they had to go through. They just show me like them at the airport and then them after of the airport, and I'm like, I want to see how you moved from one station to the other. I don't want to get lost. So if you're someone like that, then definitely don't worry about that. I feel like I'm diverting, but I have to say this because I feel like I was looking for this information and I never got it during my time when I was looking for it. So if you are scared about like the whole process of finding your your plane and everything like that. I'm gonna say, because COVID is not as intense now, I feel like maybe your family can help you with the first portal, and then you probably go to a bigger airport compared to your country's original airport. But everything is going to be announced, and if you don't know, ask one of the people that are wearing the uniforms and they'll help you. Show them your ticket, they'll help you. If your flight is connecting, like I'll just say, when your flight stops, follow the masses. Like first follow everyone inside. Once you're inside the next building, because sometimes you have to transfer into like a bus, and then the bus takes you to the like, especially if it's like a night one that connects at night, so you get into a bus first that then takes you into the like the next station, like from the road outside the airport to the next door to the next airport. And then you kind of have to go in, follow everyone up the stairs or wherever you're going, and then like there's someone who's always going to be like, connecting flights, if there's no one but there's still going to be someone standing somewhere nearby, ask, and just like make sure you're going the right direction. I was literally sitting in the wrong section for a long time, but because I thought it was the right section. But if you ask and you actually get information, you will be very safe. Like, just don't be scared to ask, because this is your life. You will end up in the wrong destination and you don't want that. So ask and make sure you're in the right queues, in the right lines, and basically that's basically it. Just like, especially when you get to your destination, just follow everyone's trying to get out anyway, so follow where the crowd is going, and then you will get to where there's like more people that you can ask, and then that's it. But anyways, let's go back to the packing. So now you know what to carry in the airport and stuff like that, and now you're asking yourself, basically, what am I going to carry? Like, my clothes, are they warm enough? This question comes a lot. Like, I remember when I was searching online and everyone was just saying like African clothes are not warm enough for the UK. But what I'll tell you for a fact is I got one of the jackets my dad got me for before I left. It's really warm enough. Like, when I'm in the UK, it's warm enough. It does the job. Like, I wear it all the time in winter. Yes, you might have to like layer a bit before like it's effective enough, but I won't tell you to not carry anything. Like, genuinely, if you know that, like, genuine jackets, like if it's warm to you right now, it's probably going to be warm enough, or like it's going to be warm to a certain degree. Like, you don't want to come barehanded, like especially if you don't have a bank card yet and you're thinking of starting everything once you arrive. I advise that you actually do carry some clothes. Don't be like starting from scratch, new everything. You need to start from somewhere. For example, I came during lockdown, and generally speaking, I didn't have anything. I didn't go with ports. I didn't carry anything. So when I got there, like during those lockdown days, I couldn't even go and get ports, and I couldn't access the online system. I didn't even know there was an online system. So basically, I just stayed like that for like the next couple of days. But
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But I will say my university did say, my other people from my university did say that like it was free. It was given to them. The ports were given to them. So I guess it was just because I came at a very odd time, so they weren't even like thinking someone is in there or something. So basically, pack your stuff. Make sure you have clothes. Like, don't come depending on coming to shop here. I will definitely say clothes here are cheaper. That's a genuine fact. But if you think like, if you are just coming there thinking you will start your whole shopping here, don't do that to yourself. You need to learn the place first. So do carry like minimal, but just pack enough clothes for you to survive whilst you're still finding out about everything else. And then when it comes to ports, what would I say? Like, based on my experience, I'd say maybe carry one port, which is what I did. I carried one port, just and it helped me because, like I said, I came during COVID, and genuinely there was no way I could have been cooking with anything if I didn't have that one port. So that's what I used when I arrived. But I will tell you this, like, if you're coming after COVID, like, surely maybe there's like a way you can probably like go to the shops and buy your own ports and stuff like that. But I find like on my arrival day, I don't want to be bothering with that type of stuff. So I'd prefer to actually have something in store. But I'll definitely say like it's not a major thing. Like, you can actually buy ports this side. And then if it comes to food, if you want food from your country, like I said, you can actually pack it in your main luggage suitcase, so you don't have to like constantly take it down, take it up. Laptops, I'd advise you keep it in your main luggage. I know it's daunting because then you're scared it's gonna break, and I feel like I'm actually telling you stuff that I didn't do myself. I carried my laptop like on my hand luggage, and I wondered if it was even safe because you will fall asleep in the flight and all those things happen. But the moral of the story is I actually managed to, every time they would just be like, laptop please, and they take it out and they put it and they scan it, and I feel like it genuinely depends on you. For me, I didn't mind because it didn't take much of my time. It was just like scanned with the rest of everything else that's scanned, like your watches and stuff like that. You just put it in a different box, but it's just the same procedure and you're fine. So if you're coming from Zimbabwe specifically and you're thinking I'm not gonna lie to you, I've not seen any round adapters in the UK, so don't bother yourself. It's four corners all the way, so don't bother yourself with like adapters. Cables are not necessary. I'm not gonna lie to you, some people buy them, but I find like most rooms in the UK have enough plugs already. It's like right now in my room, I think I've got like 6 plugs, and I can't exhaust them all. Like, generally speaking, you won't need a cable. I'm not even joking. Like, there's enough plugs everywhere, so you won't need a cable. Like, if you want to save money, don't bother with a cable. There's enough sockets. I don't know what you are charging in the world that needs like a cable, like an adapter, because you've got enough space. You've got enough, like they've even got like USB cables. That's what I'm gonna say. If you've got a phone like mine that has like a tiny cable, like a tiny, that doesn't have the USB cable thing, I'd advise you to maybe invest in one, because airports have those cable sockets, and you might not have that accessible to you, so that could be an issue for you. So definitely I'd advise carrying that instead of, like, you know how people have power banks. Like, if you don't want to invest in a whole power bank, just find a USB cable charger that can actually connect. So obviously you're carrying your food, you're carrying like the food that you like. I'm not saying like pack rice and whatever, but I'm saying like maybe your favorite cereal. I know I packed cereal Vita. I actually didn't the first time I came, like, as myself, but like, yeah, pack the things you like, the things that you know will definitely not be this side. Like, to be fair, Ceravita is not in the UK, but like, even if it's there, it's probably going to be more expensive just because it's in a different country, and that person knows that you are trying to get the minority, and so it's going to be a bit pricier. So I'd say probably get it from home, and you won't easily find those shops. They need someone who has worked hard. Actually, to be fair, Google Maps might direct you, but if you don't know what you're searching for, it's also a bit hard. But yeah, try African shops when you get here. It depends on your location. Sometimes they're not as easily accessible to you. So yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna say. Pack essentials as well. Like, you need toilet paper. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things, like, you're not gonna find it in. Okay guys, my phone went off, so I had to charge it for a few seconds and then continue. Definitely don't forget your laptop. Those are like essentials, like your laptop, your charger. Don't ever forget your charger. It's going to be way expensive to just buy a charger, so make sure you packed your laptop, your charger. Make sure you packed your phone, your charger. Just respect yourself and pack them beforehand. You start a new life here anyways, so don't feel like packing the whole house. Like, some clothes you just have to let go of. Because they can't be squeezed into the suitcase. Imagine the worst is your zipper breaks whilst you're trying to fit things that aren't meant to be fit, so just let it go. Another thing that I'd say you should pack is definitely blankets and like bed sheets and stuff like that. These are things that, like, most people would tell you to kind of like buy them this side, but I'm like, where are you sleeping on the first day? Do you get me? So those are things to consider as well. Like, if you are willing to kind of like start roaming about in the first day, or basically if you can sacrifice and carry it. I feel like most of my luggage was a blanket. I feel like it's one of those major investments that I just could not just come here and buy a new blanket. Like, I've got so much to buy already. I need to buy my pots, food, everything like that. So I felt like a blanket was just not part of the problems I wanted to have when I arrived. Yes, it gets cold, but the places have heaters. We have heating almost everywhere, and I feel like, especially if you're going to like a student accommodation, like a university student accommodation, they definitely have those things like as a priority. So your room will be warm enough. Like, you might not even have to have, okay, I use my blanket, but that's just because, like, you know, I appreciate it. But like, even if it's cold, inside your room you be comfortable. So I guess I could say, like, if you are like not sure, like if you feel like you don't get cold easily, just come as you are, I guess, because it does take up a lot of space as well. So I didn't want to be carrying like my blanket as like a whole separate luggage, so I had to squeeze it into my suitcase, which then meant I had less space for adventures. I had to like squeeze everything into like the remaining spaces, and it's just like it's one of those light things that kind of take up space. So I think he should look into that, like maybe have a court as well. Like you will need like courts, and they like range from 60 pounds and stuff like that. So I feel like if you have one from home, and obviously another tip would be to wear the heavy clothes on, and like obviously it's gonna be freezing hot. It's gonna be hot into you, because even if it's cold on that day, you'll be dragging loads of luggages, so you will not feel the cold. I can promise you, like I was sweating and it was snowing. I know. So yeah, I think genuinely don't bother much about the weather. I'm not gonna say come in your t-shirt, because it depends as well, because I was carrying 2 suitcases and I had to drag them to the train station and stuff like that. Another thing that you should definitely pack is your common sense. Like we don't want you losing yourself in the middle of nowhere, like just falling for everything. So figure yourself out and kind of pack that wisdom, that acquired knowledge, that this is who I am, this is what I stand for. Because if you stand for nothing, like I always say, you will fall for everything. If you want to know my experience and how I came to university, like my first initial trip, just check my story time where I explain in expressive detail with one of my friends in the video right over here. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video, and I hope this video was helpful. I think I will probably do more of these types of videos. They kind of feel comfortable, and it's just like me sharing my lived experience with you guys. So but apart from that, honestly, just like everything else is going to be fine. Even if you come without those things, like I'm sure you will, you'll find your way like as time goes on. But I think I've said too much, but I hope this video helped you. Until next time, guys, bye.